Alright guys, got a hell of a battle coming up here. If you couldn't tell, it's a two-parter, so this one is a doozy. There's a lot going on. Lead off, I'm going to get my stealth rocks up because that's what I do. And I think, like, do I want to stay? Do I want to not? Blah, blah, blah. It turns out I did my math wrong. I think I could have stayed in and lived, hit him with the close combat and hopefully killed. Or a bug, or Xerxes, I don't know. But I didn't. I switched to this bird because I figured it would be better in the long run. And it probably is. So I set up my sub because that's what I do. And that way it gives me options. If you switch to a steel poke and I can't toxic it, I can still like waste time doing whatever. Toxic misses, however, and I know already, just because the thing is like a mini little swamper, I know I desperately need it toxicked. So anyway, I've got a substitute up, so I'm going to sit in and see what he does and gain leftovers while I can. And of course he brings in a muck. So now that a muck is in here, I don't want to sit around and use toxic, because even when I'm out of toxic, there's still nothing I can do. So I go to Entei because I figure if I can't toxic it, I may as well burn it. You know, I want one or the other on everything I can. So turns out it works out amazing because he's a curse muck. So getting burn on him is still really, really helpful. Maybe even more so than toxic would be if I could get it. So unfortunately, I see he's got poison jab, so I'm really afraid of getting poisoned on a fluke hit. I don't know if it's 10% or 30%. I think it's 30%. Regardless, I don't want to stay in and let that happen. So I protect just for burning lefties and pressure. That's what I do. And I'm thinking, who do I want to switch to? Because obviously, despite this being a stall team, there's nobody I have who I really enjoy taking stalls. So it turns out I don't actually switch. I'm apparently an idiot. I go for the hidden power ground. And he switches, I guess because he figured he's not going to accomplish anything, which makes sense. He wasn't really, aside from potentially getting poison on me. Anyway, I figure the thing's going to try a toxic of its own, simply because that's what pokes like those try to do. They try to toxic. So I switch to her just in case he uses surf and I can trace a water absorb. However, I'm right and I get toxic. Go figure. So I set up a wish because I might want to go back to Pincer and restore him to full. It'll get him a focus sash back, essentially. So I set up the wish first, see what he does. I could actually T-bolt here. I don't know why I never thought of that during the battle. I did not think about that till because he's going to crunch or dark pulse, that's why. Okay, glad I got that sorted out. I could T-bolt, but obviously the dark move is coming, so I switch. He doesn't use the predicted dark move, however, which is a good move on his part. And I still use the wish to get Articuno back up to full, because he was missing a little bit. So I don't want to use Toxic immediately, afraid Muck is going to come back in. So at the same time, I don't want to really sub and have... I don't know what I wanted to do there. I was expecting him to switch, and then I would switch back to this chick. But he knew that, and he wasn't choice like I thought he was, and hit me with the dark move. So that was a really good move on his part. And he was really stoked about it, and I was pretty upset. So I go to Gastrodon, which of course he gets a critical hit on. I'm figuring, hey, whatever he throws, Gastrodon can take it, right? Wrong, he can't take a critical hit. So he goes for another one. Pray it doesn't flinch. Thank God it doesn't flinch. I get my recover off, and now I'm safe for a little bit. So that's good. Now, it's a little... I still don't want to Toxic, because I don't think he's going to switch. I mean, I knew he was going to switch, but I didn't know where he was going to switch to. Turns out I do Toxic. I'm just ahead of myself here. I do Toxic, knowing he was going to switch, knowing it was worthless, and I miss again! That's twice, and that is the most critical thing I need to Toxic. I try tracing Water Absorb again, plus I use it to dodge the Toxic move itself. So I'm going to get up a Wish, and hopefully Gardevoir can use Protect the next turn and stay alive for it. I don't think she will. So she goes down, but at least I get a Wish pass to somebody, which I'm pretty sure I go to Pincer, because he's half dead. Yep, go to Pincer to recover him to full. And because of the Focus Sash, that may be very beneficial. So I get an X-Scissor on him. If I can't Toxic him, I'll at least try and get some damage. But he switches to a physical wall, so whatever. Works out alright. I've got my Focus Sash back, and I have absolutely no idea what he's going to do, so I'm just going to stay in and hit him. That's all. Hits me with the Stone Edge, which he probably predicted me to go to Articuno. I don't know. But he hits me with the Stone Edge, which is not good. I don't want to stay in and take a second one, obviously. So I go to Shoe Puff, and he sets up Stealth Rock, which is not good. Because I do have Articuno, I do have Entei, and I like my Tauros to keep as much HP as possible since he's got Life Orb. So this hurts me a little bit. Obviously, since I've tried Toxicking the last 2 times, he was in a must-switch position, and both times he went to Quagsire and it missed. I knew this time he wasn't going to go to Quagsire, so I just went straight for the EQ, and he did exactly what I thought he would, go into Muck. So that was perfect, as I thought it would be. And I was praying to God he didn't have rest. I'm like, I hope I'm faster, I hope something, and he does. I'm like, ugh! So this is turning out to be a doozy. Hey, cat, you're poking me in the foot. But I'm surprised how much I did. Turns out he uses Curse to get all of his defense boost, which makes sense, of course. So he's not going to stay in because I could EQ and kill him. So I go with Toxic again, and finally it hits. Thank God. Because there was a little bit of a pause there. You can't tell in this sped up time, but in real life there was a little bit of a pause. I'm like, no, not 3 in a row. I'm going to scream. But thankfully it hits. So I predicted that he would Earthquake or Surf, but at the same time I knew I couldn't afford to get one of my walls Toxic, so I went out to this guy just because whichever he did, it would turn out as best for me as possible. He went with the mandatory move of requiring Toxic just in case he hits a wall. So there was just really the necessary move by both guys, and now I see that he has Recover. So he's the same as my Gastrodon, but at least I've got Toxic on him. So Articuno could stall him out since it's got Earthquake and Sub. At this point in the battle, I've forgotten his 4th move, which turns out to be Encore. So as it turns out, Articuno can actually sit in there all day long and without threat, which is cool. So I sub up because I'm hoping, at this I forgot, I thought he still might have had Surf, and he Encores. Because of Stealth Rock, I'm going to stay in and hope I get 51% HP before I have to switch. So I just stay in. He predicted the switch and used Toxic, but I've got Sub, so I'm not going to let it go to waste. Because of Toxic, he has to switch also, so that's a little bit more lefties I get, and I'll still have a sub up, so that's really cool. I'm still Encored, however, so I'm still stuck on Substitute, but at least I'm gaining hit points. So he Lava Plumes, takes away my sub, but as I'm still stuck on sub, I get another sub! Yay! So here I am now. Encore ended. I do need to Roost so that I can get hit points back. Sub would still be kinda cool, and just for PP stall, but I also want to get that thing Toxic since I can't burn it. So that's a really tough choice for me. I go with Roost because this way if I switch, which I should and I don't because I'm an idiot, if I switch I can still come back in due to Stealth Rock. So I'm pretty sure I go with the Toxic, which was really dumb. I should have switched to Entei or Gastrodon and I didn't. I lose my Bird because of it, and that was really, really bad. Bird was crucial later on, or at least if I would have had the Bird, it would have been crucial later on. But I don't. So I stay in just to take the last hit, a little bit more of Toxic. And that is the end of part 1, guys. You absolutely must check out part 2. Don't miss it.